So, the Premier League is finally back. And of course, Manchester United open up their campaign on Sunday against Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. Now, this won't be easy at all, as the three-time runners-up will finally look to lift their trophyless curse this season. So, can Manchester United keep the Gunners quiet on Sunday and show the league they mean business? Let's talk about it. So, it all comes down to this, a real test on match week 1 against Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. This is where all the preseason preparations on and off the pitch really matter. This game against Arsenal is the perfect way for Ruben Amorim and his side to silence some of the doubters, silence some of the critics, and show them that this preseason work that they did wasn't just a facade. It's them reaping the benefits of their hard work. Because this is the first time in a long time where I've seen a Manchester United team actually work hard towards a goal and a purpose. The signings make sense for what the manager wants his vision to be. For once, I can finally say that I'm confident in these signings. They fit the profile that Ruben Amorim wants, and to be quite honest, they fit what we've been lacking for a long time at Manchester United. We've signed certain players up front, like Jadon Sancho, Anthony, players like that. We had Garnacho come through the academy, who just gave us moments and spurts, but they didn't give us that final product that we need. Cunha and Bumo, two new signings. We've talked about them many times, so I won't harp on them too much, but they're so important to what we want to do. I've seen the quality from both of them in preseason, and while they didn't score, that doesn't really matter. Getting up to full fitness is what mattered the most. And Ruben Amorim saying that these guys were at 50, 60% of their actual power, doing some of the things that they did in transition, doing some of the things that they did in hold-up play. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this game just to see how Manchester United can react playing against a top team in the league so soon, so suddenly. Will they fold? I don't think so. I think this is going to be a game where Manchester United can showcase some real quality. Now, it all depends on the lineup. It all depends on the mentality. Like I said, this preseason, Manchester United has shown real determination. The players were fit. They looked ready to go. They were sharp in the preseason games. They were pressing aggressively. Stamina doesn't seem to be an issue anymore. Long distance running doesn't seem to be an issue anymore. Hopefully, these players, with one game a week for the most part, can play a full 90 minutes at maximum optimum pace and strength and really outwork and outrun a lot of these opposition teams. So I'm excited to see what United does. I'm excited to see what Ruben Amorim and who he lines up with in this first game against Arsenal. So let's go over to the tactics board and see what I think Ruben Amorim should do versus what I think he most likely will do. So I don't think there's going to be too much debating what the starting 11 should look like. I know Ruben Amorim has his ideas and his philosophy in mind, but I do think that the starting 11 kind of picked itself throughout the preseason. Obviously, starting with Andre Onana, he is the number one goalkeeper. So when he returns from injury, the expectation is that he just fills in once again at number one. Bayern didn't have a stellar preseason by any stretch of the imagination. I think the highlight of his preseason was making that save in the penalty shootout against Fiorentina. And Tom Heaton was arguably, one of our better players in the entire preseason. Just making good saves, making us feel secure at the back. So Onana coming back in will kind of scare a lot of fans for sure. I think I'm a little bit nervous to see how he does, especially against Arsenal, because if he comes back from this 8-week injury that he's been harboring, if he comes back and he immediately makes a mistake, it's going to set this team's progress back so far. But I want to give Onana just some type of support, thinking and hoping that he can come into this game and be a match winner if we really need him to be. But not too much on Onana. There's not much I can say. He didn't play in preseason, so we haven't really seen if he's kind of ironed out those mistakes or not. I'm sure Amorim has trust in him for this season, but if he does not turn up this season, he will be gone next season. Lenny Yoro and Matthias de Ligt, I think, are two players that are just always a shoo-in to start for Manchester United. I think Amorim really likes what de Ligt can bring, just in terms of his mobility. He gives way more mobility and pressing and just aggression than Harry Maguire. And obviously that's because Maguire's recovery speed isn't great. De Ligt isn't the quickest center back by any stretch of the imagination, but he does give us a little bit more recovery pace than Harry Maguire. Lenny Euro has really come to life this preseason. He showed spurts of it last season. He's just a solid player, and he's going to turn into one of the best center backs in the world very, very soon, especially as Manchester United start to get better and they get comfortable within this entire system. Luke Shaw, I believe, should be there as well, just because he gives us experience on the left-hand side. Now, I know a lot of people would talk about Aiden Heaven as well, say that he could fit in, here. I thought he had a pretty mixed preseason. I thought he was good in moments. I thought he's really composed. Nobody can deny that. But when it comes to the Premier League and the speed of the game and just having that game experience, Luke Shaw is somebody that does have it. I don't think a lot of people can question his actual quality. Just the fact that the dude can never stay fit. So I think left center back is a good position for Luke Shaw. If he can get a lot of the mistakes, he's very prone to ball watching. I feel like a lot of players that have been at the club for a while kind of got used to their defensive duties and got complacent. So he needs to wake up. He needs to prove that he can be in this team because other than Luke Shaw, it's gonna be Lissandro Martinez. Aiden Heaven will be the rotation option for Lissandro. So where does Luke Shaw fit in that piece? Maybe he moves back over to left wing back to give Dorgu relief. I don't know. But this, I think, will be the starting three, or at least the starting three we should start with in this game. Patrick Dorgu, Amad Diallo, no words needed. Both players were stellar in preseason. They gave us so much dynamism down the width, down the wing. They were very expansive, very quick players, very strong in the tackle as well. Amad Diallo with his close control gives us a lot on that right-hand side, especially with the interchanging play. Whenever Cunha might drop into this position and create a triangle between himself, Mbumo, and Amad, these guys have some real technical ability that can get us out of any tricky situation. So I'm excited to see what they do against an Arsenal team that is very strong defensively. They've been this way for the past 2 or 3 seasons now, just very compact and strong in defense. So I'm excited to see how that happens. Bruno Fernandes is at the 8. I've said it time and time again. I just think he's solid there. I think he gives us a lot more when he's playing deeper. Not a lot more, but I think he gives us more than people actually think when he's playing deeper. His passing range can really unlock Mbuemo in behind. His passing range can also unlock Sheshko or Cunha in behind, or whoever's really playing up top. I'll get to Sheshko in a minute. But I think Bruno is totally fine in that position. It really is about who can cover him in the secondary midfield position. Now, I'm going with Ugarte, even though I'm not a big fan of Ugarte. I don't think he's the quality and standard required for Manchester United in that position at this moment. But it's either we go with him or Casemiro in that position. I don't think Manu and Bruno in a midfield will work against a hard-working Arsenal team. I mean, they're going to be pressing us. They're going to be working hard off the ball to get the ball back. Declan Rice has an engine for days. Zubimendi is a good player technically. So as soon as Arsenal get the ball back, they're going to want to get it to these guys. Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, these guys work hard off the ball. I think we're going to have to work even harder to get Arsenal unsettled. And I think Ugarte is one of those players who at least can be a nuisance in the middle of the park and break things up and be frustrating for the opposition. His ball control and his passing leaves a lot wanted, but I do think he's the right guy for this game in particular. Dorgu is going to offer us a lot down the wing. He's going to offer us a lot, and I'm excited to see what he does up against Ben White. Does Saka come back to double up, or what happens with that? That's going to be interesting on its own. Now, Cunha and Mbumo just are two new signings. I'm excited to see what Cunha can do when he drops deep and progresses the ball forward. That's what we signed him for. He's a lot more secure in possession. Garnacho in these areas most of the time would lose the ball or he'd make the wrong decision. I feel like if Cunha is in this area operating in these spaces and Dorgu is providing that overlap, Cunha is so dangerous at the edge of the box. He can score from really anywhere. So he's going to give us a lot more in terms of our attacking options. Mbumo is a tidy player, great first touch, great first time passes, really good, excellent football IQ. He's an intelligent player who uses his body well. He's strong, he's fast. It's really, really promising what we have in terms of our left hand and our right hand. These are players who can really do damage. Now with Amad Diallo and Mbumo, I don't know what that's going to look like. I know that their interplay is pretty good. They can obviously switch positions at any moment. I actually have said countless amount of times that I like Amad in this area. But these players can both do the same thing out wide, cutting inside. They're very similar players in that aspect. So it's going to be dangerous for Miles Lewis-Skelly on that left-hand side. I'm excited to see what Amad and Mbumo can do. And guys, I'm saying all of this just to say, even still, with all of these, great signs and attacking threats and positive moments, we still need to win. We still need to get points on the board. If we don't get points and we start losing games silly, like how we did last season, pressure is going to mount. All of these good vibes and good things that are happening have to follow with results. We need results. At the end of the day, this is a results business. As long as we are looking promising and looking more threatening in terms of how we build up our play, in terms of how we press off the ball. That's what the things I want to see from Manchester United. Results, clean sheets, all of these things are important, yes, but right now Manchester United is in a state where points are way more important than how it looks. And I know fans want to see Manchester United play brilliant, free-flowing football. They've shown signs of that in this preseason. The technicality of these players has improved tremendously. So I think that is a case for just being patient with Manchester United as they build into this new season. And up top, it's really either Benjamin Šeško or Rasmus Højlund. I'm not sure if Šeško will be fit by the time of this recording. If Ruben Amorim will deem him fit enough to start, it'll be kind of tricky if that's the case. But I don't think Ruben Amorim really trusts Højlund anymore. So we might see a situation where Cunha is a 10 and Bruno starts as a Cunha is a 9 and Bruno starts as a 10, and Menu might come into this position here to be with Ugarte. So if I'm not too confident in this, to be honest with you. I think we do need a focal point. I said that in my last video where we were missing just a focal point, a striker, a pure striker who has the instincts to get in behind, run into the channels, make it difficult for the opposition. And we're going up against Gabriel and Saliba. Tough, tough, tough Premier League defenders. Some of the best in the world. So this is going to be a tough game no matter what. But I do think Manchester United has the tools to unlock Arsenal. Getting up and down the wings is important, obviously, in this system. But making sure that Ugarte can really screen the back line and can be a good anchor behind Menu, Bruno, all of these players is really important. It's extremely important. Because if we're not locked in defensively, Arsenal will play through us. Arsenal like to play through the middle. And if we're not careful, if we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, how we played against West Ham I thought was brilliant, playing narrow, forcing them out wide. If we can do that to Arsenal, we can frustrate them, frustrate their attack. We cannot allow Arsenal to play through the middle. We cannot. We will get overran. We will get destroyed if Arsenal are able to play easy, one-time passes through the middle. They showed a little bit of this against Athletic Club in their most recent preseason friendly. So we really need to be on our best behavior. We need to be on point in this game. I think Manchester United can do it. I will be happy with a draw. I'm just sitting here telling you now, I want to win, obviously. I want Manchester United to win every game they play. But being realistic, this is a tough, tough way to start the season. A draw wouldn't be too bad. And then building upon Burnley and Fulham, if we can get wins in those games, we can take some real momentum into the Chelsea game. Now in front of you is the lineup that I think Ruben Amorim will start with against Arsenal. The fact that he doesn't seem to trust Højlund up top anymore is very concerning in my opinion. I just think we still need a focal point up top, but knowing Amorim, he might go with Mason Mount. Mason Mount has been a very underrated player for us this preseason. He's a hard worker. He's very versatile. He can literally play in any of these positions. He's always running for the team, which is why I think he'll play in this game because we need hard workers off the ball. Arsenal are a good possession team. I think he'll start Mason Mount. Other than that, I think the team will remain the same. It's literally just the fact that Mason Mount will actually replace an out-and-out striker. I don't think Šeško will start, but you could quote me on that. I'm not sure. I just don't know if he's ready to go. And especially his first game being against Arsenal, that might be too soon for someone who just joined the club. But we don't know. We have to wait and see on that one. But if Manchester United do start with this front three, it's not the most promising. I didn't like really what I saw of it for the most part in preseason. I think it really just, this formation in this system requires a 9. Somebody who's actually a striker, somebody who has that instinct to get in behind. These three players will love to come and collect the ball. We need somebody who will run and sprint in behind and make it challenging for Saliba and Gabriel. So we'll see what Ruben Amorim does, but I do think this is what he'll go with. I think this is a good test for Manchester United, though. This is going to really prove if these players have what it takes to play against the big boys. Last season, they drew against Liverpool. They drew against Arsenal. They beat Manchester City. Should have at least gotten a point against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. There were a lot of games where Manchester United against the top teams really showed something different. It was against those smaller teams. I always put quotations because the mid-table teams they're way stronger now. They're not really small teams anymore. But it really just depends on what Manchester United do. I also really want to talk about how we defend set pieces. That goal we conceded against Fiorentina was abysmal. That was shocking and pathetic. And there's no chance, there's no shot we can do that against Arsenal. Like I said, Arsenal have some real aerial threats. Gabriel, Saliba, Kai Havertz. So we cannot afford to be making mistakes like that defensively and letting Arsenal get cheap goals on us because of that. Arsenal are a good set piece side. No matter how many people make fun of them for it, they are a good set piece team. There's no reason for us to underestimate that and play sloppy in this way. I really think now we have options in terms of height. Lenny Euro is tall, De Ligt is tall. If Šeško comes on and plays in this game, then he's going to be an excellent option up top. He's going to be somebody that can not just help us win headers offensively, but on defensive set pieces. He can help us use his super tall frame and clear the ball away. We've really struggled. We've really struggled on set pieces. I know what it really means, though. I know what it is. It's the ball watching. That goal we conceded against Fiorentina was strictly because players were not following any type of instruction in terms of marking a man. Marking zone doesn't work if you're going to just leave 2 or 3 players alone on the edge of the box or at the top of the box. That's our downfall. We cannot ball watch and assume that other players are going to mark and pick up their man if no one has instructed them to. There needs to be better communication on that front. Otherwise, Arsenal will spank us in that regard. I'm going to wrap up the video there. I mean, this is a real test. This is going to be the most important game for Manchester United at the start of the season. I'm only saying this because I know we have games against Chelsea, Manchester City, Liverpool, Tottenham. They're all yet to come. But if we can set a solid foundation against Arsenal, if we can start the Premier League campaign with good form, we can build this momentum and teams will start to fear us a little bit. They'll start to say, whoa, this is definitely not the same United that played last season, the way that they would give up cheap goals, the way that they wouldn't be clinical with their attacks. If we can show something against Arsenal, we can really instill this fear. We can really change the way that teams think about approaching us. And that can be in our favor tremendously, especially when we play Burnley and especially when we play Fulham. 2 games where Burnley were expected to win, but Fulham could be a bit more difficult. But I still think if we can beat Arsenal, Fulham will have to adapt and kind of change to us instead of it being more of an open game. So I'm really excited. I'm excited to see what Manchester United does on Sunday. I really think this is a huge and great opportunity for the team to show what they've been working on this preseason. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I didn't want to make this one too long. I just wanted to share my thoughts in terms of what I think Manchester United should do in this game against Arsenal. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching always. I really appreciate it. And come on, let's hope that this Sunday Manchester United can deliver something special for the fans. I'll talk to you guys soon. As always, God bless you guys and have a wonderful day.